So in this video, we're going to be finding the domain of the function f of x is equal to 1 over x. Okay, so remember what the domain of a function actually is. It's the set of all x values that you can plug into the function without causing problems. So one type of problem that you might encounter would be division by 0, or say trying to find the square root of a negative number. Those are typically the two things we're going to look for most often when trying to find the domain of a function. So normally what we do is we find the list of things that are going to cause problems and then take the opposite. So we find the list of things that cause problems. We can't plug those in. However, I can plug in the opposite. The set of things that we can plug in are what doesn't cause problems, if that makes any sense. So looking at this function, we have 1 over x. So remember the two types of problems that we typically look for is division by 0 and square roots of negatives. We don't have any square roots in this case, but we do have potential for division by 0. So what x values can't I plug in? So I say can't plug in what? So in this case, you notice that I'll get division by 0 if x is equal to 0. So can't plug in x is equal to 0. Now, is there anything else that would cause division by 0? If I plug in 1, 2, 1.5, like 20 bajillion into the bottom here, that's not going to cause division by 0. The only thing that's going to cause division by 0 here is just x is equal to 0. So the domain is the opposite, is the set of all things that you can plug in. So can plug in everything but 0. So in which case, the domain, which we'll denote by dom of f, that is going to be equal to, well, there's several ways of writing this. The way I prefer is the set of all real numbers set minus the things that you can't plug in. All real numbers minus 0. Another way of doing this is with interval notation. So how do we do that? Well, I can plug in anything from minus infinity up to 0 with a round bracket because we can't plug in 0, union 0 to infinity. Again with a round bracket. Round brackets mean I can't plug it in. Square brackets, if I were to use a square bracket here, that means I can plug it in. So we go from minus infinity all the way up until 0, stop, and then start again at 0, but not including 0, and then going to infinity. Okay, so the domain is either one of these guys. And that's how you find the domain of 1 over x.